What's up, YouTube? I'm Darren. I'm the Bowtie Fragrance Guy. This channel, I focus on fragrances as well as fashion. I believe that if you're going to smell good, that you need to look your best as well. I'm a firm believer, guys, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So, hey, why not make your first impression your best impression? And the best ways to do that is, of course, your appearance, the way you look, the way you smell, are things that people will always remember. So if you like that kind of content, then hit the subscribe button and also make sure that you hit the bell icon as well to ensure you get notified when I upload new content on the channel. A few quick housekeeping things, guys. The fragrances that I did with novices, for you guys that have been inboxing me that still want to pick those up, now is a great time. If you guys are new to the channel, a few months back I released, in collaboration with Novices Parfums, 2 fragrances, Aoud and Serenade. And right now those fragrances are, they're running a sale where you can get 40% off if you purchase 1 fragrance, or 50% off if you purchase 2. So now would be a good time if you are still considering picking those fragrances up and you didn't have a chance to get them before. Now is a good time to do so. So head over to noviceparfums.com and make sure you pick up Aoud and Serenade, or one or the other, whichever you prefer. So guys, on today's video, I want to do something, just want a little bit more casual on today. I want to talk about 10 fragrances in my collection that I'm really currently enjoying. Now, oftentimes these type videos, these are fragrances that are more recent acquisition to the collection. So quite naturally, these are newer, and I'm spending a little bit more time, or a little bit more attention is being paid to these at the time. But I'm pretty sure any collector out there knows that when you are collecting fragrances, that's how it goes. You get some new ones in, you really spend some time exploring those and get more in, and it kind of just continues on. But these are going to be 10 that I've been currently enjoying. Actually, a few of these I had a little bit longer, but I've kind of went back and revisited these fragrances for different reasons. Okay, look, I'm going to get all into that in just a moment. So you know how we get down. If you want to see what fragrances made this list, then you know the routine. Keep it locked right here. All right, guys, we're back. Thank you so much for keeping it locked in. I'm going to go ahead and jump into this list of fragrances. But really quick, I want to say, guys, I've been trying cinnamon. This cinnamon right here, just some ground cinnamon. I've been trying this in my coffee as of late, and I've been really enjoying it. I don't know if it's just, again, cinnamon, spices like that, nutmeg, remind me of this time of year. So for the last few weeks, I've been putting the cinnamon in the coffee, something that I wanted to try, and I really like it. So I don't know, just random. I'm drinking coffee, so I thought I would mention that. So cinnamon really works in coffee, guys, in case you're wondering. All right, so the first fragrance that I want to mention today, this is one that I've had for, I would say, quite some time now in the collection, but I've gone back and revisited. One of the reasons is Kilian released a different iteration or version of this fragrance, if you will, here more recently. And also the missus has been reaching for this one more in recent history. So it made me kind of go back myself and revisit it. I've worn it several times over the last, I would say, 3 weeks. Ah, man, I love going back to fragrances sometimes that you haven't, or that I haven't worn in a while, because it reminds me of why I love it so much and why I added it to my collection. But the fragrance that I'm referring to is this one from Kilian, and it's called Apple Brandy. Apple Brandy. Maybe a month, 2 months ago now, Kilian released Apple Brandy on the rocks, and honestly, to me, that one kind of fails in comparison to the original Apple Brandy. This is what I want to smell. When I hear the name Apple Brandy and I think about the house of Kilian, this is what I want to smell right here. Oh, man. Brandy that's been aging in oak barrels for years. You have the, of course, that sweet vanillic undertone that comes from vanilla. Warm, rich resins like labdanum in here, and of course the, you know, that woodiness that comes from cedar wood. This is just again an amazing fragrance. Very resinous, very decadent, deep, dense. Again, you get a little bit of sweetness from that kind of apple accord in this as well. Stuff is just absolutely phenomenal, man. And again, this is the perfect time of year to wear Apple Brandy. Around the fall, winter season, perfect time to wear a fragrance like this. And again, I've been really enjoying this one as of late. So I think this one is still available. It went away for a while and came back, which is something that Kilian's been doing with a lot of his fragrances. But man, check this one out. I'm really been enjoying this one as of late. This is the original Apple Brandy from by Kilian. All right, guys, now the next fragrance up on this list, this one is from the house of Roja Dove. If you guys don't know anything about me, I will tell you this if you just started watching this channel. The way that I collect fragrances oftentimes is I'll get the initial, 1 to 3 fragrances from a collection or from a house that I've really been interested in trying. And then I kind of find myself going to different houses and kind of focusing and building my collection in a particular house. I'll explore a lot of the scents that are in that collection that I'm interested in, or in that house that I'm interested in. Then I get samples, and then I will make my purchasing or buying decisions based on that, and I will explore pretty much that entire house or that entire collection until I have the fragrances from it that I like. With that being said, I've been really digging deep into the Roja fragrances as of late, and this one right here, Acqu Di Gio Profondo, man. Listen, guys, this right here, I will tell you, is next level. It is a rose, I would call it a rose oud combination, but man, it's so much more than that. This is really rich. Again, I think I've talked about this one maybe last week or a week before last, and I talked about fine wine. That's what comes to my mind when I look at this fragrance, when I smell it. If you look at the color of the juice in here, it's really dark. This is one I would not at all spray my clothes if you have this one, because it will probably stain your clothing, especially a white dress shirt. But man, this stuff is just phenomenal. The raw materials used in this one are of the highest quality. And again, if you like rose oud fragrances, I think this is one you really need to at least get a sample of. It's very expensive. I think this bottle goes for $750, $765, something in that range. But you can get the small size. I think it's maybe a 15 ml, something like that you can actually get of this, or of course get a sample from another site that does decants. But man, it's really good. Of course, rose oud, very bright and kind of uplifting, opening in this fragrance with some host of citrus as well as fruity notes in this one as well. Of course, to dry it out, man, you get some cinnamon in here, some saffron, so spicy, woody to go along with that rose and oud. But again, patchouli, an amazing fragrance. So check it out if you get a chance to, from the house of Roja Dove. I've been really loving this one here lately. This is called Acqu Di Gio Profondo. All right, guys, the next fragrance that I want to speak to you guys about, I've talked about this one a lot lately, honestly, for good reason, from the house of Replica, and this one is called Autumn Vibes. This is called Autumn Vibes, and again, the thing about Replica fragrances when it comes to really trying to describe these scents is really hard to go outside of the title of the fragrance, because it smells just like autumn. You definitely get autumn vibes from this fragrance, and again, the way that I describe this, red leaves, slightly damp ground, so it's a little bit earthy. Again, that smell almost like, if you guys have ever smelled like back in the day, that potpourri. It had a mixture of different spices in that, cinnamon, nutmeg, and again, just that earthy woodiness that you get from the environment when it's starting to get cool outside, a little bit damp in the autumn time, is what they were able to capture in this bottle, and I love it. Again, magnificent job doing that. So this one gets high remark from me. I've been really enjoying this one from the house of Replica. This is called Autumn Vibes. All right, guys, we're gonna move on to the next fragrance here. And this one comes from the fragrance house of Profumum, Roma. And this one is called Dolce Aqua. Dolce Aqua. This is a very creamy, fruity citrus fragrance. It has coconut in here, heliotrope, vanilla. So again, some have described this fragrance almost as smelling like a vanilla cake, if you will. It's kind of the vibes that you probably will get from this, the thoughts that you would that this would evoke, the emotions that it would evoke when you smell this scent. So it's a really nice, creamy almond and vanillic citrus fragrance. Really creamy and delicious smelling right here. I love this one. This is a fragrance house that I think is up on my list as far as exploring. I really want to explore this house. I have about 8 samples of some different offerings from this particular house that are en route. And I'm pretty sure I'm excited about really exploring that further to see which ones I want to get full bottles of. I do have this Aqua Viva as well as Antico Caruso, which are, again, 2 other amazing scents from this house. But guys, again, if you like creamy citrus fragrances, this is one that I think you will enjoy. I forgot to mention it has coconut in here as well, which is a note that I've been really enjoying lately. So check this one out from Profumum Roma. This one is called Dolce Aqua. All right, guys, the next fragrance on the list, this was one of the ones I got in my Bond number 9 fragrance haul. It's always been something very magnetic about this fragrance for me ever since the first time I smelled it, and this one is called Brooklyn. Brooklyn. To me, this is really one that can be worn year round. And it's just something really, really addictive about the scent and the DNA of this fragrance to me. It has some of the main notes here is gin and leather. Gin and leather are the 2 main notes to my nose. It opens up with this very interesting combination. You get this almost bitter fruitiness that comes from grapefruit. And that is combined in the opening of this fragrance with this kind of spicy, slightly sweet cardamom note. Very interesting fragrance. Again, something about it that just keep pulling me back to this one. So I've really been enjoying this one as of late. I've had it on my wish list for a long time. Glad to have it in the collection from the House of Bond number 9. Again, this one is called Brooklyn. All right, guys, the next fragrance on the list, this one comes from the House of Amouage, and this one is called Meander. Meander, man, this is just this is a delicious fragrance, man. You have this beautiful spiciness in the opening. It has pink pepper, black pepper, but it really gets into this powdery, creamy thing. And when I talked about this before, I mentioned this to somebody recently. I love carrot cake. And for some reason, that's what this really smells like to me. It smells like carrot cake. It has a carrot note in here. Again, but when you combine that with this powderiness that you get from this orris, beautiful buttery orris note in here, creamy sandalwood when it dries down, this is an amazing fragrance. Now, we'll tell you, for me, this doesn't perform that well, but I still love the scent. Oh man, this is so good, man. Check this one out from the House of Amouage. Again, this one is called Meander. All right, guys, the next fragrance up on this list comes from the House of Louis Vuitton. The definition of easy to wear. This one just pulls compliments like no other. I got this one for my birthday, and this one is from Louis Vuitton. This is L'Immensité. L'Immensité from Louis Vuitton. And again, I'm not really gonna go into it. This is just a fresh, clean, easy to wear scent. You can throw it on any place, anytime. It's gonna work. It's gonna get the job done. But I really like this one because of the versatility of it. Again, I can just throw it on, don't have to worry about it. And I know that I'm gonna smell good. So check this one out from Louis Vuitton. Again, this is called L'Immensité from the House of Louis Vuitton. All right, guys, now the next fragrance up on my list is one that I actually got for Christmas. I actually got this as a Christmas gift from the missus, but I've had several samples. This particular house, well, let me show you the fragrance first. This one is called Morning Chess. Morning Chess from the House of Vilhelm Parfumerie. Vilhelm Parfumerie is the house, and this scent is absolutely amazing. I'm sure you've heard it by now. If you've heard about this scent, it does resemble Creed Aventus, but what I love about it is it's a lot sweeter and fruitier. It's like if you can find the sweetest pineapple, and I don't even know if pineapple's a note in here, honestly, but if you can find the sweetest pineapple and tone down that smokiness in Aventus, then this is what you would get. But this stuff is absolutely fantastic. I've gone through, I think 3 of the samples of this scent that I picked up here recently. I ran through them and I kind of mentioned it out loud that I wanted this fragrance, and the missus got this for me for Christmas. So thank you, Miss Bowtie. I actually wore this Christmas morning. I changed my scent. Christmas evening, I actually went with Leighton, but this was my scent of the day on Christmas Day. So man, check it out, man. If you like the Aventus DNA, I'm sure you'll love this one from the House of Vilhelm Parfumerie. This is called Morning Chess. All right, now the next fragrance on the list comes from the House of Christian Dior. This is from the private collection. This is Vanilla Diorama. And all I want to say about this fragrance, guys, is this is just not your typical vanilla scent. And that's probably what you would think of. But just by looking at the name of this fragrance, Vanilla Diorama, quite naturally, vanilla does play a very, very, very prominent role in this fragrance, but it's so much more than that. I get great performance out of this scent. That's something else that I did want to mention. I've been really enjoying the heck out of this the time that I've actually worn this. So if you're wondering about it, if you dig my taste in fragrances, I would definitely say at least if you can get a sample of this, because if you like vanilla fragrances, I think you will enjoy this one. So again, this is from the Christian Dior, the private collection. This is called Vanilla Diorama. All right, guys, and last but not least, I got this fragrance in my collection. This was my Christmas gift to myself. Okay, this is my Christmas gift to myself. I've been eyeing it for a long time. I had a sample of this a long time ago and really enjoyed it, but it's very expensive, and I paid for this myself. I'll explain a little bit more later when I actually do a full review of this, but this is from Roja Dove, the House of Roja Dove, another one of those, you will call it a masterpiece. I would have put this on my Holy Grail list if I had it at that time, but this one is called the Agave. From the House of Roja Dove, this is called the Agave. And if anybody knows about this fragrance, knows that it's extremely expensive, but to me, it is well worth it. I'm gonna get into details about this when I do a full review. I actually did an unboxing. I'm gonna post that later on, but man, this stuff is everything that it is advertised to be. I'm gonna save the details for the full review, but an amazing, very traditional fougere kind of scent from Roja Dove. This is called the Agave. All right, guys, that's it. That's my time. I hope you enjoyed the video today, as I gave you 10 fragrances from my collection that I'm currently enjoying. As always, I appreciate your time and your attention to these videos. Of course, you don't have to watch what you do, and I sincerely appreciate that. And don't forget to make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and share these videos out to some other folks that you think could use this information or find it entertaining. I'm your guy, Darren, the Bowtie Fragrance Guy. I love to look good, and of course, I love to smell amazing. So until next time, guys, keep looking good, keep smelling even better. I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace and cheers.